this week's video, to be completely honest. I've pretty much just sat down here to start working and figured we could dive right in. So, let's get going. Basically, today I have got a couple of things to kind of catch up on, or things that I was working on yesterday. I'm going to continue and hopefully finish today. Today is Friday, so if I can get everything done that I've been working on this week, that will be very, very exciting. So, let's see, where are we here? Okay, so, great. So, what I was working on yesterday is a brand new view or part of our app where a user can record audio directly from the browser. So from our app, they can click a record button, record themselves, and then upload it. So I actually built that yesterday and the day before, and it's pretty much like all of the actual recording stuff, and part of it is just about done. So what I want to do is the first thing I want to do today is just push those changes up to our master branch so that we can test and kind of see if everything is looking good and working, and then if that's the case, then we'll probably even deploy it to production today. The cool thing about working on an app like this that is so brand new and we have so few users at the moment is that you can kind of just like try things out, and like I can push this change to production and we can have a few users test it, but like most people are either not going to know that it's there or aren't going to use the app that much. Like over the weekend, maybe we might not even have anyone use the app at all. So it's like very low pressure. You don't have to worry about breaking things for lots of people or the site going down or anything like that. So obviously we still do tests and we still try to make everything like as secure and good and not broken as possible, but it is kind of nice to just be able to like really quickly build things and then test them and like get them out into production and just see if they're working, which really, it's really fun. And kind of the most important thing for us right now is to build things quickly and get them out, because at the moment we're so new that we don't even know if what we're building is the right thing, if that makes sense. So there's this idea of product market fit, where we want to make sure that what we're building is what our users actually want, and that like the way they're using the app is like how we expect them to use the app, and we can't really know that until we just push things out and get them working and see what users say. So we're doing a lot of like testing, like having a user will like meet with our product manager, and she'll actually take her through the app and like show them everything and just see like what they think and how they're using things and if they're doing what we expect them to do. So with all that being said, I'm looking now and I'm seeing that tests are failing. Oh yeah, actually that's expected. So I changed something yesterday, added a click function to an icon, and we have these snapshot tests that basically like take a snapshot of the code, the way it looks in the front end at a moment in time, and then the test, every time you run the test, it compares the previous snapshot to what the current snapshot looks like, and if anything's changed, then the test will fail. But sometimes that's a good thing because like I changed something, so I expect that the test would fail. So what I need to do is just update the snapshot to reflect the new changes in the UI. So that's the first thing I'm doing today, is going to fix those tests, push that to master so that I can tell everyone in the meeting that it's there and that we can test it. And then there's a few other like little kind of catch-up things are another part of the app that I need to finish up today. So I'll probably work on those next. I should actually probably check my calendar and just see what else I've got on the agenda for today. So we've got our weekly sprint planning meeting coming up in a couple of hours. It's great. I've got actually quite a bit of time until that happens, so I should be able to get most things I need to get done before that meeting, which will be nice. That meeting is basically where we plan everything we're going to do for the next week. Talk about kind of what we're gonna work on, what we've done this week, and review like, did we meet our goals for this week, and what should we be doing next week. So that's coming up, and then I actually only have one other meeting today, which is a one-on-one with my manager, the other engineer on the team. So that'll be good too. Okay, so these tests are now passing. We updated 2 snapshots, so that's great. 5. We updated 5 snapshots, so that's actually not what I expected. So let me just double check and see why so many were updated. Alright, let's see, we've got, this is a footer component. So yeah, I added an icon there, that's fine. I added an icon there. Tab index. Oh, interesting. Okay, well that makes sense. I didn't add that, but the component library that we use must have updated that because I added a click function to the icon. That makes sense. Okay, let's see. Oh, you know what it is? I wrote, wow, I actually wrote a lot of tests for this component. So there were more tests to update. So yeah, I think, yeah, that's fine. Slackbot is slacking me. Go away, Slackbot. I don't want to talk to you right now. God, that noise that you just heard, it just is so anxiety producing for me. It really triggers like a real sense of like, oh my god, anxiety, because that's the sound that I used to get at my old job. Just that means that like someone has slacked me, and usually at my old job that usually meant something's broken or someone needs something from me and I'm like in the middle of something, and it's very triggering. I actually changed my Slack sound to a different sound when I started at this new job so that I wouldn't have that, but I joined a new Slack workspace yesterday and I think that's why I'm getting that noise. So probably should just go and update my notification preferences for this to be a new sound. Hang on, you guys can help me choose what sound I should choose and turn it down a little bit so it's not quite so loud. Let's see, which one of these? Here's what we'll do. Okay, this is going to be fun. I'm going to play all of the notification sounds for you, and then I want you guys to vote in the comments which sound you like the best, and I'll change it to that sound, and I'll let you know next week which sound I decided on. Okay, so, ready? Here we go. There's ding. Turn it up a little bit. There's oh, I just realized I should be saying the names of all of these, but let's just go through and listen to all of them first, and then we can go through and I'll say the names. Okay, ready? That was kind of nice. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. That one's kind of like a spaceship or something. There's that one that gives me anxiety. It's a good sound, right? Like it's kind of ASMR-y, but I just have too many associations. This is my favorite one, actually. Hummus. It's just someone saying hummus. I have that for a different channel. Okay, so one more time, and we are going to, I'll say the name of the sound, and then I'll play the sound, and then in the comments I want you to type the name of your favourite sound. So here we go. This is ding. This is ta-da. This is here you go. This is whoa. This is boing. This is blink. This is hi. This is yoink. This is drop. This is wow. This is knock, brush. And this is hummus.
Hummus.
Okay, so let me know. Vote in the comments and I'll change my sound and I'll let you guys know next week what I picked. Okay, anyway, back to work. Now that we've done that very important thing. Okay, so now this should be running again. Great. Okay, snapshots are running. I looked at my calendar. I don't have anything to do right now, so we can keep doing this. I might just check my email very quickly, have a look at what's going on here. So let's see. Oh god, 42 emails. Okay, got a notification from Linode that they are doing some scheduled maintenance. Got a Medium article, which I am not going to read. Couple support tickets, some notifications about comments. Oh, new account created. That's exciting. That means someone else signed up for our product. Notifications from LastPass, which is the password manager we use for all of our stuff. Oh, there's an email from my dad. Oh, that's nice. So, this is really fun, but the product that we're building, the app that we are building, is it's a private social network for you and your family, where you can record your family's audio stories. So, for example, if you've got parents or grandparents who you want to capture their memories, you can use our app. They can record their story, just them talking, and then we upload it to this like private feed. Then you can go back and kind of listen to it like a podcast. So it's pretty cool. My family's actually been using it, and are some of the more like active users. And my dad, because he's retired and uses the product quite a bit, he does a lot of like testing with us. So it's kind of nice. Like I get to like talk to my dad about support, like on a probably weekly or almost daily basis sometimes, and like I'll get emails from him. I don't know. It's just nice to like be building an app kind of like for my family, you know? It really feels like I'm building this app for them and that like I get to work with them, which is just, I don't know, it's just fun. Let's see, so my dad. My dad says, hi. So after chatting with my boss today, I said I would try making a new story using both UIs on my phone. Unfortunately, I didn't get very far. Oh no, that means there's a bug. The old UI has this screen, and then he's included a screenshot. Okay, great. I don't see anywhere to start a new story. The new UI has this screen, which does have a create new button, but I couldn't make it work. Yeah, that doesn't work yet. I haven't built it. That's actually what I'm working on right now. I wonder why he thought he should be able to make a new story. Interesting. I'll reply to him. So I'm telling him, at the moment, we don't have a way directly in the app to record a story. I've actually been building that this week. So if you want, you could test that next week. I'm not sure what my boss told you, or I'll say, oh, I'm not sure what you and Amelia, my boss, talked about during the session, but it seems like there may have been a miscommunication about what to test next, possibly. Amelia, do we want my dad to try the new recording flow next week? It should be ready by then. Oops. Okay, got it. I'm going to redo this actually. Do we want my dad to try the new recording flow next week? Parentheses, it should be ready by then. Oops. Something weird just happened in my email. It must not have been clicked into the text box. In the meantime, I think you should be able to listen back and comment, react to exist. Actually, in the meantime, I think you should be able to record a story the regular way by phone and listen back to it in the new UI. So that's the cool thing. Okay, so one of the best things I think personally about this app is that we set up basically a phone number that people can call in, and all you have to do is call the phone number and talk, and we record you speaking. So it's very easy for older people and people who aren't very technologically savvy, like your parents and grandparents, to record their stories. And because the product is aimed mostly at, like, those older people, or it's aimed at capturing their stories in particular, we wanted to make it very easy for them to do that. So, so they can call this number and just record a story, as opposed to like having to go into the app or go on the internet or anything like that. My dad's actually pretty tech savvy, so that's why he's able to help us with all this stuff. But just a quick, that's why I said when you can record your story the regular way by phone. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me know if that makes sense, and then just asking if my boss has anything to add. Okay. Let's see. Now I just have a bunch of support tickets that my boss has filed, and basically that's all just like, stuff is broken, please go and fix it. And there's like 20 of them here. Oh boy, okay. Yeah, that's a lot. I guess I'm just gonna have to go through these and fix them all. Maybe that's what I'll do. Okay, great news. The tests passed, so I can get that merged into staging. I think I'll just go ahead and do that right now. actually, you know what I should do first is just request a review from my co-worker. Alright, so let's take a look at all of these. Everything is broken tickets, and I guess I'll start with the oldest one first. Onboarding date input is difficult to use. Oh yeah, okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up this. Okay, cool. So basically what he's saying is we have a date input that a user can use to input their date of birth while they're signing up for our product. And basically what my coworker is saying is that it should be searchable. So I should be able to type into the select box and it'll filter down to like the month that I'm looking for, and that the year should be sorted in descending order instead of ascending order. So the year, that's an easy fix. Let's do that one first. Basically, I just created a little helper function here that starts at 1900 and then just like every time it runs a while loop, and every time the number increases I push it into an array. Those are my years up until I is less than the date of this date, the year of this date. I'm not explaining this very well. Let me try this again. So basically I just have a helper function that starts, I set a counter at 1900 and then I run a while loop and I increment the counter by 1 every time, and while that is less than the year of this date, this year, I push those into a string. So then I get an array, I push those into an array, sorry. I get an array of years from 1900 up until 2020 this year. But probably what I want to do is actually, I'm going to start the counter at 2020. Actually no, sorry, I'm not going to start it at 2020, I'm going to start it at new date, get year, which will give me 2020. And then while I is greater than or equal to 1900, because very unlikely that we're going to have a user who's older than 120 years old using our app. I'm just going to go I minus minus, and there, that's that fixed. It's probably, so it's kind of a like hacky way to do this, but there was a nice date input that was provided to us by the design like component library that we're using. So like just a built-in, because a date input is a pretty common thing to use in a UI. So there's a bunch of them out there, but the one that I used, my manager was like, we don't like it, we want something else, of course. So rather than spending like a bunch of time searching for a library component that matched exactly what they wanted, I just built my own. So the tricky thing now though is going to be that I need to make this searchable, and I think it should be fairly easy to do. So we have one input for the day of the month, one input for the month, and one input for the year. I just fixed the year input to show the years from 2020 back instead of from 1900 up. Now I need to fix the month input so that when you type into it, it filters down the month that you're looking for. I believe I should be... Yeah, so there is I'm using a select component, and there is an attribute on this select component called filter option. So there's a few different things here. On search, callback function that is fired when input changed. Maybe they have an example here to show me how to search. So basic uses, select with search field. There you go, that's what I'm looking for. Perfect. Okay. So we have we need to have show search needs to be true. So basically what I'm doing here is, as I've said, we're using a library to provide us with all of our UI components. We are using the Ant design library for anyone who might be familiar with front-end development. So what I'm doing is I'm reading their documentation online to see how this particular, it's called a select input, how it works. Because what I've got at the moment is just a regular select that shows a drop-down menu with all the months listed, and you just click a month. What my boss wants is a select with the drop-down that you can also type in to search to just filter the month more quickly. So that's what I'm adding to this at the moment. Okay, so there's an on search attribute as well. So I need to do a little bit of tidying up here. Good. Yeah, also what I need to do is get some auto formatting and linting going here, because I haven't done that yet, because I've just been like focusing on building things basically. But so at the moment it's like a little bit of a slow process, and I know I really need to get this done, but I haven't done it yet. So let's see, I'll just copy this, throw it in there. On search. So now I need to write a little on search function, which is going to run when the user searches for the month. Handle, we'll call it handle search, and handle search is going to be a function, and I'm not entirely sure how this should work, so I'm going to go back to the docs and look. Oh god, that's not useful at all. All they show you is console.log search. Great, thanks. Very helpful. So helpful. Okay, let's see. Interesting. Oh, I see. So the actual magic is happening here. There's another thing called filter option, and I have a feeling that's what's actually doing the filtering here. So filter option, input option, option.props.children.toLowercase.indexOf input.toLowercase greater than or equal to 0. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So basically what we're saying here is we're looking at what's typed into the box, and then we're comparing it against all of the options that are available. We're also we're using to lowercase to make everything lowercase, because if I've got options in a drop down of months where like the months are capitalized, so I've got January with a capital J, February with a capital F, but the user types in January without a capital, we still want to be able to filter even though the strings don't match exactly. So the way that this is actually happening is they're using a built-in method called indexOf. In order to understand indexOf, you need to know a little bit about arrays. So let's actually do a little bit of a talk about arrays for a second here. So basically, an array is what's called a data structure, or basically just a way of organizing things. and it's essentially just a list. So in JavaScript, you show an array by using these two square brackets, and then in that array you just put the things that you want to list. So in our case, we've got an array of months, and obviously in the real thing there's like 12 of these, but for now we'll just do 3. So we've got January, February and March, and this is just a list. This is an array of strings basically, right? A list of strings. What we're doing is we're feeding this array into the select component, and then the select component is just rendering all of these as a drop-down list. What we want to do is when the user types into the drop-down, we want to compare what the user's typing to all of the values in this array. And the way we do that is we see whether what they're typed has an index in the array. So an index is basically the slot in the array that holds a value, and they're numbered. So it's not the actual thing that's in the array, it's like the space where that thing sits. And they're numbered starting at 0. So this, for example, in index 0 we have the value January, in index 1 the value February, and in index 2 the value of March. Now when the user types something in, we're going to look at what the user types, and we're going to see if one of these indexes has that value in it. So for example, if the user types in Jan, we're going to look at all of these, and if we see Jan, we're going to return the index that it is at. So it would return 0. If we were looking for March, the user would type in March, and we would look for the index of March, and in that case it would be 2. Now if the user types in something that isn't in the array, so for example let's say they type in boop, we're going to look at all of these and we're going to say none of these indexes has boop in it. And so what the computer is going to return in that case is going to be -1. So what I would do is I will ask the computer, find me the index of whatever the user types, and if it's greater than 0, that means it's in the array, so return it. And that's why we have here, we look at the index of input is greater than or equal to 0. So that's a little bit of a quick lesson on arrays. So let's see if we can make this work. So I'm running the app locally, yes I am, great, but what we actually want to do is we're going to log out and we're going to go to the onboarding below, because I actually do need to test this. Oh no, expression expected, oh dear, oh no, oh no. Ah, there we go. That's what we want. I needed to return it. I wasn't returning anything. So it was yelling at me. I have a feeling maybe this will work. basically, actually what I really want to do here is just console log the input and the option. And then I also want to console.log check here. Oops. We'll save that and then we'll reload it. Oh, still getting a complaint. Oh, because I haven't closed the function properly. There we go. Okay, now we're in business. Always doing things like forgetting a curly brace, or like if you've got like multiple parentheses and like multiple curly braces and parentheses, and you just like forget one and then it won't compile. And like there's so many things in my text editor to help me with that. Like they underline it with a little squiggly red line. I have color coding on, so like I color code the parentheses that match with the other parentheses, and still sometimes you just don't get it right. Great, okay, we have compiled and we have rendered. Wonderful. Now I want to go to sign up. Why isn't that working? That's weird. Just getting I'm somehow still logged in. Well, that's not right. Oh, yes, because I logged in. Right. So right now, it's not great, but we have two versions of authentication in our app. We have a backend, we have a Django backend that was handling authentication, and then we're in the process of switching over to using JWT authentication on the front end. Right now, they're like both active, so sometimes you might be logged into the back end. This doesn't happen to users really so much as it just happens to us, because we have to go and like look at the back end, so we have to log in. But like if you're logged in the back end but not in the front end, weird things happen. So, anyway, let's got to go through a little bit of the onboarding flow to get to where I need to be. Okay, great. Here we are. So you can search. It works. Awesome. So console.logging down here. That's the input, I guess. 128, 150, 152. Okay, so where's 128? Oh, that's the search value. Okay. So now down here, 150, give the input, the option. Yeah, okay, so I got it right. I did it right, you guys. It worked first time. Amazing. That never happens. Oh, that's so great. I'm so happy. Okay, cool. Alright, cool. That's an easy fix. That means that fix is done. The year should be showing. Yep, great. Let's see what happens when I drop down this way. 2020, great. Days, January. Awesome. Okay. Calling that fixed. Git add, git commit, I fix birth date input. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mark the status of this ticket now to verify, because I finished coding it. And let's move on to the next one. Let's see, I've got about half an hour before my meeting starts. Let's see, I could probably get at least one more of these done before then. Ah yes, the phone number input. So this is a case where something should be optional, but I accidentally made it required. Whoops, my bad. So let's see, input user, input user account. So I suppose the only thing that should be required in this case is the email. Yeah. That makes sense. That's fine. We can do that. I need to get to the mockups. Oh god, where are they? There we are. Okay, great. V4, V5, V6, big capital letters. Okay. So, the user is inviting a family member basically. We have an email address and a phone number. And the email address is required, but the phone number is not. Great. Oops. And that's it. All I had to do. So I had a line where I was validating the email and validating the phone number. And unless both of them pass validation, and by validate I mean something is there and it matches, like it's a real phone number or it's a real email address. So I just deleted the line where I was validating the phone number. And then that means it's optional. So that's fixed now too. Cranking through these this morning, which is great. Okay, next. That one's also done. We'll go back here. No error address. Okay, what is this? No error message. When I put in a phone number and email address for onboarding invite when they're already in use, just doesn't work. Onboarding invite. Yeah, I actually did already have something for this, and I must have deleted it on accident when I changed. So let's see, I wonder if maybe I'll a lot of these are duplicates actually, so there's not as many tickets as I thought. Okay. I need to go back in time, back to a state before I changed these things, and take a look at what I had at that time, and then probably put back some of the old logic that I had before I changed it. I'm just clicking through GitHub right now to just get to the component that I want to look at. There it is. Okay, great. So I'm just create user. Oh, I know. It was because I had an error message on the button. I think I don't have that anymore. Yeah, okay. I'm also now actually that should right. Because yes, I don't have the okay, so of course it wants these to be in alphabetical order, which is very frustrating. is going to be help dot button. Validate is going to be, oh wait, no, validate status I think is what I want here. Validate dot button, and there we go. So I need to also add this to the type, or type interface I guess you would call it. And great. Button is going to be either the empty string or an error. Okay. Okay, so that one is also fixed. Great. Let's see. Okay, there's a ticket here that I thought I had fixed a couple of days ago, and I asked my manager to take another look, and she says it's still broken, but I can't reproduce the issue that she's seeing. Sometimes this happened. So I'm just going to ignore that one for now. I'm going to delete that one. Oh yeah, we wanted a progress bar for the onboarding flow. That's a little bit of a bigger task, so I'm not going to do that one right now. Story view. There we go. Okay, I can move the social login buttons. That'll be a good one to do. Okay, so basically we want the ability for users to sign in with either Facebook or Google. At the moment, they just sign in. They create an account with us. We don't have any kind of like login with Facebook or login with Google. That kind of thing is kind of tricky to do. So, and because we're so kind of new and have so few users, it might not be very important to do it right now. And with this kind of thing, you're always kind of having to weigh how important something is with how long it's going to take to build it. And for this, it might not be very important. So instead of like building out the whole thing and then finding out that nobody really uses it, what we're going to do instead is build like a fake version. So I'm going to put two buttons in the UI that say sign up with Google, sign up with Facebook, but all they really do at the moment is open up a pop-up that says this isn't built yet, but please check back later. And then we're going to put analytic tracking on those buttons, and we're going to see how many people are actually trying to click those buttons. And if it looks like lots of people are trying to do it, then we'll build it for real. This was my manager's idea, so it's just like much easier for me to build a fake button that doesn't do anything than build a real button that actually does do something. So, but anyway, so I actually already built those buttons, but I just put them in the wrong place apparently, so I've got to move them. Shouldn't be too hard. In fact, I've been doing it while I've been talking to you. I need to pull in some analytics. Where are we? There we go. Great. Get these in there. Pull in some analytic tracking. Oh, oops. We actually already had that in there. I just didn't see it. So, analytics events. But I don't think we need. Oops, we need a column there. And I don't think we. Oh yeah, we do need that. Okay. So now track event. We want that to go that should be everything. Let's see, style. But we need a class. So, maybe we don't need that after all. Yeah, maybe not. I do have a class on there though. I wonder why. That's interesting. I thought I should have had a okay, great. So I basically just moved the component out of one place and into another. And I just got to make sure that everything still works, because when you move bits and pieces around, sometimes it breaks things. Recompile, reload, and test it. Waiting for it to recompile can take a while. Sometimes it takes not very long at all, sometimes it takes quite a long time. Great. Okay, so there they are. The buttons are there, but they don't look right. So, what is wrong with this picture? I think probably what's going on is I need to wrap them in a row. Oh no, actually they're wrapped in a row. And they have a margin around them. Well, that's odd. I wonder why. I could probably just put them... Oh, you know why it is? It's because they are wrapped in that row. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just put them... They don't even really need to be on in the form at all, but we might as well just put them in there. Okay, recompile, have a look and see how that looks. You can probably hear my computer working very hard. It's been really slow recently. I think the problem is I'm running a lot of Docker containers, which we can talk about at some time in the future if you guys are interested. I just want to have a look. Okay, so that's not quite right. We want those side by side when they are... So, right now, the buttons are just rendering like the mobile and desktop versions, so not looking quite... The mobile version looks good, but the desktop version doesn't quite look right. And it should be that, like, what we're using, it should handle that for us, but for some reason it doesn't. I'm not really sure why. It's kind of annoying. So here's what I'll do. I will put a class on it, and I will add a media query. min width. 768. Then Google. So is going to have a margin. Oops, meringue. That's not how you spell margin. Oh god, spell correctly. Come on. Margin top unset. Let's see if that actually does it. I don't think it will, but it's worth a shot. Oh, wait a minute. Ah, I see. So they are stacking too soon, basically, and then they're unstacking again. Oh, that must be the same thing that's happening with the text wrapping. Yeah, that is really irritating. Why does that happen? Probably because I need to put a column in there. I wonder if that's what it is. Okay, so I'm going to add a column. I'm going to call it... I'll find another example of where I've done this. I think that's pretty good. That's a pretty productive morning. Feeling good about that. Okay, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you found our little lessons on arrays interesting. And please vote for your favorite Slack notification sound in the comments. And I'll let you know next week which one I pick. Alright, thanks so much and have a great rest of your week.